All right, and we are live. Good afternoon, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm coming to you live from my home in Sarasota. And for those of you that never heard me before, my name is Dave Kauffman. Thanks for joining me. So every Thursday, if I'm in town or if I'm in front of a computer, I do a Facebook Live where I give content. I try to add value to business owners, to relationships. And today we're going to do something different. Today we're going to answer your questions. So 2 or 3 days ago, I put it out on Facebook. If you want me to answer your questions or give me a topic or a discussion to discuss, we're going to do that. So guess what? Y'all delivered. I have 2 full pages of questions and comments and things like that we're going to discuss. Some of it, and it's all different subjects. Meanwhile, if you guys want to go ahead and start typing in your questions and your comments, stay tuned with the I want you to be engaged. I want you to answer the questions as I read them. I want to hear what you have. So this is more of an interactive type of a deal. So I'm on Instagram Live. I'm on Facebook Live, YouTube, and also the free conference call. So I got a bunch of stuff going on here. And by the way, I'm trying out a new style. Do you like the handlebars on my mustache? All right. Type in yes or no if I should keep the handlebars. Here, I'll give you a good look at it. All right. All right. My wife doesn't like it. Just telling you. But I want to see what you think. And then I'll probably go with what my wife says. That's usually how it goes. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Go ahead. If you can hear me on Facebook Live, let me know. I want to see your comments and everything. It's I want to make sure that you're on there. Just give me a comment, some thumbs up, some hearts, whatever, and we'll get started here. So I think on Monday, I put it out on Facebook that there's a big announcement coming for EdgeCon 2021. Okay. So Cody Petersheim, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me know that you can hear me okay. I appreciate it. All right. So EdgeCon 2021 is going to happen. All right. I thought I was going to cancel it. In fact, I had made my mind up to cancel it because of all the stuff happening and not sure how everything was going to happen with COVID and all of this. But EdgeCon 2021 is going to happen. It's going to be March 4th through 5th. So mark your calendars and be there. March through 5th. Another change. It was going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, but it's not going to be there. You know where it's going to be? It's going to be right in your living room. It's going to be on your phone. It's going to be on your computer. We're going to do it virtually. And guess what? I have all of the speakers signed, contracted, ready to go, except for 2 speakers that I'm waiting on confirmation. And woo, the speakers that I have this year are amazing. Okay, we're not going to have as many, but here's the deal. Here's the deal on EdgeCon 2021. How many of you would agree with me and give me a thumbs up, say yes, whatever, just just let me know you hear this. How many of you would agree that 2020 was a tough year? 2020 is a tough year. I mean, okay, so it's the year that I got COVID. It's the year that I got shingles. And it's a political chaos right now. It's a tough year. A lot of people are hurting. A lot of people are stressed out. And so the conference is going to be March 4th through 5th. 2020 is going to be behind us. What do you think the theme of EdgeCon 2021 should be? Well, here it is. It's going to be called the Overcomers Conference. EdgeCon 2021 Overcomers Virtual Conference is the official name. I know it's long. It's a really long name. But every single one of you, if you're listening to me, you are an overcomer, and you are going to have the opportunity to be at EdgeCon. It's just going to be a simple click of the mouse and you will have the link. You can see all the speakers. We're going to be using a tremendous platform. It's not even going to be Zoom. It's going to be another one. And then you're going to have an opportunity to network, literally network with people around a table, but you'll be in your living room. It's amazing. The process is amazing. So here's the deal. Get ready. Get ready. Mark your calendars for March 4 through 6. 4 through 6. It's a 3-day conference. It's going to go from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock each day. 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It's a 3-day deal. And here's what you want to know. The speakers that I'm putting on here have the most tremendous stories of overcoming and getting back on top. And you've never heard a lot of these speakers before. I handpicked these speakers because of what they have overcome, and they're going to teach you how to overcome. All right, Doug Martin says, handlebars are for bicycles. I prefer to keep them arm's length away from my face. Well, I told my wife, I feel like a Texas Longhorn, like having to go through a door and turn my head sideways. I don't know. It's just fun. It's just a lot of fun to have the handlebars. I probably won't keep them, but thanks for your input. I appreciate it. All right. So I solicited a bunch of your questions and got a bunch of them, and we're going to go. Some of them are funny. Some of them are not. Some of them are, I had to study for them. But I just wanted to let you know about EdgeCon 2021, Overcomers Virtual Conference. It's going to be virtual. And so we already have over 100 tickets sold. Oh, here's what I was going to say. The tickets that we sold at the last conference, we're going to start selling tickets, new tickets at that same price. It was $97. It's like unbelievably cheap. All right. So we're going to start there and we're going to keep it at that price for a month. And then it's going to start going up month by month. The highest it's going to get is $175. So if you want a place at EdgeCon 2021, you need to buy early. I can't stress that enough. So make sure that you buy early. All right. Once we have everything on the website, we're going to make sure everybody knows about it. And we're going to do some heavy marketing. We've got some really cool stuff. And I can't wait to share with you some of these speakers. All right, here we go. Here's the first question by Angie Dunn Riley. Angie Dunn Riley, I hope you're listening. Here's your question. She says, how can you dig half a hole? How can you dig half a hole? It takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of preparation to dig half a hole. Here's how you do it. You plan to dig a hole that's 2 feet deep. And then you only dig it 1 foot deep. And you have dug half the hole that you thought you were going to. All right. I'm going to have to make a camera adjustment here real quick. All right, my Instagram camera started sliding down and I got a phone call. So thanks everybody for coming on. Code Red, Just Me, and Feng Shui 882. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. And share the videos, guys. Share it out right now on Facebook. So that's how you dig half a hole. All right. Angie, also, here's a little bit more of a serious question from Angie Dunn Riley, and I like this. Difference between an educated guess and an uneducated guess. What is the difference between an educated guess and an uneducated guess? I would say this. A guess is like you don't know, but you're just guessing. It's like and I would say that would be what an uneducated guess is. An educated guess would be if you've seen something similar, or if you have reason, if you have thought things through, and if you say, okay, if this happens, there's probably more of a chance of it going that way. So I would say the difference is thought. The difference between an educated guess and an uneducated guess is thought and reason. Okay. Now, I don't know if these are the correct answers, but these are my answers. All right. So if I want you guys to chime in on this. Ed Weaver, it's not really a question. It's just kind of a thought that I really like. Ed Weaver, I hope you're listening. If people are doubting how far you can go so far you can't hear them anymore. And I like that. But if you don't have people challenging you, if you don't have people doubting you, some people might get complacent. So here's what I'm going to say. Surround yourself with positive people that encourage you to go as far as you can. And then when you go there, you're going to be able to see farther, and then you're going to keep going, and you just never stop going. I don't want you to ever stop going. I want you to keep going. So I like that quote. If people are doubting how far you can go so far you can't hear them anymore. Remove negativity from your life, but understand that negativity is there so that you can have positivity. If there was no negative, we wouldn't know positive. All right. Charlene Burke. My friend Charlene Burke says, how do you mitigate risk when you see an opportunity that fits your current path and end goal for your business? How do you mitigate risk when you see an opportunity that fits your current path, end goal for your business? So here's the deal. I wish people would learn that I'm on a call. Anyway, sorry, guys. Here's the deal. How to mitigate risk when you see an opportunity that fits your current path and end goal for your business. I would say if it fits your current path and you see the end goal in your business, go for it. Think about it and try to anticipate what the risk might be. And because you'll never get all of your risks mitigated. If you do, you'll never reach your goal. All right. Here's the deal. There's a gift behind every challenge, and I want you to find that challenge and obliterate the challenge. And because in that risk, there's always a challenge. There is no gift. There is no winning unless you take a risk. So don't try your best to kill all the risk. Try your best to find the gift behind that risk. All right. Steve Slabaugh. Here's kind of a fun one. Steve goes to my church. He says, what's the worst food you've eaten out of politeness? And what's the weirdest food combination you really enjoy? The worst food you've eaten out of politeness, I'd probably say blood pudding from a different country. It wasn't tasty at all. Blood pudding. I don't recommend it. All right. And I'm sorry if I'm looking at two different cameras here. So it makes my eyes look weird when I'm looking at Instagram. It looks weird on Facebook. But anyway, what's the weirdest food combination you really enjoy? I would say this is weird. This is really weird. Pizza and applesauce. Doesn't sound good, but it really is good. All right, Daniel Slabaugh, no relation to Steve Slabaugh, I don't think, says, just a thought that's been on my mind for business owners. How do they spend the money that comes in from their business to promote the business running as far as what percentage goes to advertising, what percentage goes to savings, and what percentage goes to inventory? Very good question, Daniel. As a rule of thumb, 5 to 10% of your annual revenue should go towards your marketing. Okay, that's a rule of thumb. Now, I'm going to tell you the companies that spend more on advertisement have a bigger return. It's just you can catch more fish if you have more fish in the more lines in the water, right? So you have to have marketing going on. But as a rule of thumb, companies go anywhere from 5 to 10% of their annual revenue goes towards their marketing budget. Now, it all depends on the industry. It depends on the products. It depends on a lot of things here. So let me just move this thing over here because it is just did like this. Okay. All right. So, and then also about what percentage goes to savings. I don't know if there's a percentage. I'm just going to say this: as much as you can, as much as you can. Put it into savings. You'll never regret saving your money. And the last question is, what percentage goes to inventory? I don't know that it all depends, but I'm going to say as little as possible, because while that inventory is sitting in as inventory, it is not making you money. So keep your overhead low, have enough on hand to make sure your customers don't run out. But you want to make sure that you have the inventory. Angie Dunn Riley says, have you ever thought about running for president? Yes, I have, but I won't. I am thinking of running for political office at some point. I don't know what for. Maybe something local, maybe congressman, but president. But I think every male in America has probably thought about running for president at some point. But I've often said this, Angie, that I would enjoy becoming president rather or more than being president. I love to convince people. I love to campaign. I like to have relationships with people. But I don't know that I would want the job of president, but I'd love the job of becoming president. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you for that question on Facebook just now. Have you ever thought about running for president? All right, let's go. Sherry Bentley Martin, thank you so much for giving this question. And it's something that I've actually thought about a lot with everything that's going on in our society. It says, are we at a point of no return in our society regarding language, in that poor grammar and coarse language, curse words, etc., are so widespread that they are becoming the new norm? To me, here's my opinion on speakers that have to use the F-bomb from the stage, or comedians that try to be funny by being coarse. If you have to, this is my opinion, if you have to use extra words to make a point, you probably are not really good at making that point. Okay. Now, I know that people say it releases endorphins, but so does murder. Okay. So don't go out and murder just so you can release endorphins. That's not what the end goal is in speaking. The end goal in speaking is to communicate effectively your point and to impact the lives. And so if your end goal is to release endorphins and make people feel good, then that's probably something that you can do, but I don't want to make you feel good. That's not, they introduce me a lot as a motivational speaker, and I correct them. I say, I'm not a motivational speaker, because if you motivate an idiot, you've just motivated more idiotic behavior. I'm an inspirational speaker. And what I mean by that is I want my words to go in you and to inspire you to change. I don't want to motivate you to change. I want my words to take root and for it to be inspiring in you. It's like the seed. I want to water that seed in you. And so if I have to use coarse language, curse words, and stuff like that to get you to be inspired, it's not my gig. It's not what I want to do. Okay. But I think we are at a point of no return in our society. If you look at the comedians now, and I love a good comedian. I was listening to one yesterday, but the type of stories that they used back when things were really funny are different. Now it's kind of at the expense of a people or a group of people or a idea. Back then, comedy was more of a great or a funny, how do I say it, in a situation, or they found themselves in a funny predicament and they learn how to tell that story. So here's what I want you to do. Here's your homework to really look at comedians. Go to YouTube and look up Wendy Bagwell, and look up and then type in Wilbur Wingate. All on the same. Wendy Bagwell is the comedian. The story is Wilbur Wingate. Now, I'm old fashioned, but it's funny the way he tells that story, and just his demeanor. And there was not one cuss word. There was not one anything there that you wouldn't want your children to hear, but it's really, really funny, the stories that he tells. All right. So, how do we change society? I think by having this conversation, by teaching our kids, by really, guarding what we let into our ears, into our homes, and turning off those voices, turning off those voices. All right. Daniel Weaver says, when is it okay for a new business owner to not feel guilty about splurging occasionally? Example, going out to eat, buying a new boat, etc. Okay. You should never feel guilty about splurging unless the people that you love are going to be hurt if you splurge. Okay. So what I mean by that is if you spending money for some kind of enjoyment keeps someone that you love, and who do we love? It's our neighbors. It's the people around us. It could be 3 doors down. If what you purchase hurts the people that you love, you should feel guilty. If it doesn't, if it's a way to bring enjoyment and invite the neighbors, don't feel guilty. Work is a good thing. Business is a good thing because business is a God thing. All right. So don't feel guilty about having a profit. A profit in your business is scriptural. I don't have time to go talk on that, but that's scriptural. Look up Matthew, the story of the talents. And it says, enter into the joy. Okay. The joy is the profits. The joy is the profits. I should do a talk on that sometime. So don't feel guilty about splurging, from the profits from your business and doing something enjoyable for yourself or with your family or with the people you love, unless it hurts or diminishes or pushes back the people that you love. I hope that's a good answer for you. Sam Byler says, is it a 6 or a 9? I really want to know. Is it a 6 or a 9? Okay, so people on the conference call can't see this, but I'm holding up a 6, and on the other side of the paper, it's a 9. They're both the same shape, and if you turn them upside down. So here's the question, or here's the answer. It depends. It depends if you're upside down, but it's a 6 if I'm right side up. It's a 9 if you're upside down. Just had somebody on Facebook a couple of days ago kind of refute something I said, and she goes, reality is your perception, or whatever you believe is your reality. And so my response back to her was, I believe, and this was a female, a Caucasian female, and I said, I believe that you are a 6-foot Asian male basketball player. Are you? So your reality is, or what you believe is not reality. It's just what you believe. Reality, there is only one reality. Okay. Now there's more than one reality, but there's only, like, this is a pen. Okay. That is the reality of that. You could say it's a corn cob, but it's a corn cob pen. Anyway, it's getting pretty deep here, but Sam, it's a 6 or a 9. It depends if you're upside down or not. Don't be upside down. All righty, let's keep moving. Mary Witt, thank you for asking this question. What are some good platforms to promote and sell out products besides Facebook? All right. So I bet you didn't know that Facebook actually has a Facebook store. I'm not talking about marketplace. I'm talking about a page that you can have on Facebook that is a store. Okay. Like it's basically like a website. It's not marketplace. It's another one. You can go to YouTube and it's really easy to set up. But that's one thing. Instagram also has the same thing. They just released it, Instagram store. Shopify is one, Shopify. And for those of you that know more than what I'm saying about this, go ahead and type it in for Mary, the answers. Etsy, Amazon, Bonanza, Poshmark. Just go on the internet and type in your question and you'll get a lot of answers. There's some things out there that I didn't even know existed, but there's a lot of them out there. And by the way, what are you selling? Let us know. Let's see. Jeremy Hawkins from Coleman, Alabama sent this in. He says, why do people still not buy their coffee from their friends? Now, I'm thinking that's a little pointed. Why do people still not buy their coffee from their friends? Okay. I'm going to tell you why. Because have you ever heard of the marketing idea called the free trial offer? Free trial offer. So here's what you need to do. You need to send your friends a bag or like a pallet of coffee, and not a pallet, just a bag, and let them try it. Let them experience your brand. And probably the reason I didn't is because I forgot about it. And the reason I forgot about it was because I wasn't marketed to. Okay. So that's a good lesson. That's a good business lesson. And I know I'm just playing with you, Jeremy, but if you want people to buy your products, you've got to market your product. You've got to put it in front of them, and you have to be out there in front of it. Roseanne Clementi from Tampa says, how do you know when to retire? Here's the answer. You don't retire. When you retire, you die. And I know you're good enough, Roseanne. You're not ready to die. And here's the thing. When you're empty, that's when you need to retire. When you're empty, when you have nothing else to give, that's when you retire. Now, I know what you're saying. You're probably thinking, well, I want to just slow down and I don't want to work so hard. Of course, absolutely. When you have enough money to slow down and live out the rest of your life, but here's the thing, you don't know. We don't know how long we're going to live. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. And so I would say this, when you feel, if you have this question, you probably aren't ready to retire financially. Okay. All right. Naomi Weaver says, how to best deal with going into business with siblings. Woo. Okay. All right. So Naomi, if you're listening, the one thing I'm going to tell you is love your siblings more than you do your business. Okay. If you love your business more than you do your siblings, that's when you start having problems with siblings. Okay. So all of your siblings need to love all of your siblings more than they love the business. But here's some things that will kind of help. You need to create a proper MVP, mission, vision, and purpose. And you need to know how to do that. And I can help you with that. Mission, vision, and purpose. You have to know what you're shooting for. You have to know where you're going. You have to know why you're doing it. That's really important. And here's another thing I would say, have a mediator, somebody that is not a family member, somebody that is not a sibling, that when there are conflicts, you don't try to work things out among yourselves past a certain point. When it gets past that point, that's when you go to your mediator and you say, this is what we are struggling with, and he needs to break that tie or tell you what to do. It needs to be somebody you trust. So there's nothing wrong with going into business with your siblings, families. They make it go all over the world. They go into business. Potential, for falling apart, of course. That's any partnership. But the reason most people don't work together well is because they didn't have a pre-thought out plan. They just kind of threw it together, and then we try to have this power struggle. So here's what I would say: get an MVP, have a mediator, and love your siblings more than you do your business. And business should never cause a division in family. Family is the most important thing. All right. Angie Dunn Riley says, what's your advice for someone with COVID at home? My advice would be and I had it, so I can speak from this, a lot of vitamin C, a lot of zinc, and keep moving. Don't let yourself, when I had it, I actually put a video of me working out, and I got a little bit of flack on social media. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, whoever that was. But who cares? I felt better after I worked out. And so I worked out every day, even though I didn't feel like it. It felt like my legs were 200 pounds. But here's the thing. COVID attacks your red blood cells. Red blood cells' job is to deliver oxygen throughout your body. And so that's why my arms and my legs felt so heavy, is because I was depleted of oxygen. And so me working out helped move my body and get that oxygen going. All right. So that would be my advice: vitamin C, zinc, and a lot of exercise, and drink lots of water. And it's not a death sentence like the media is making it sound like. I know people have died. People have died from the flu. In fact, a lot of people die from the flu every year. All right. So Doug Martin says, Dave Ramsey says that a partnership is the only ship that won't sail. He discourages partnerships entirely. I think partners are for dancing only. That's what I always say. I think it depends on a personality. I could not have a partner in business. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. It's because I don't work well under somebody else. I like to be in charge. It's my personality. Not that that's an excuse, but like a high S, or maybe a C can easier fit underneath a partner. But I think personality does have a big thing there. All right, let's go to the next page. The next page is Janine Boyd. How are we doing on time? I got to keep going. Let's go to Joshua Imhoff. It says, is it possible for someone to learn how to develop and grow relationships that are full of life and energy? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's how you do it. You have to be full of life and energy, and you have to serve other people. Listen, if you want a relationship, it's a two-way street. It's you giving, and it's not a 50-50. Don't get caught up into that. And I don't care if it's marriage or if it's partnerships or whatever. It is not a 50-50. Because here's the deal. If it's a 50-50, that means I'm only giving 50%. And you're only giving 50%. I don't want a partner that gives 50%. I want a partner that gives 100%, and then I am supposed to give 100% as well. So it's 100%, 100%. Don't hold out on partnerships, relationships, marriages, whatever. Give 100%. You have to be full of life and energy. Let's see. Let's go here to Trent Yoder. We're going to wrap this up pretty quick. Best way to approach private wealthy individuals when looking to raise capital for your business. What should you have prepared ahead of time going into the conversation? At what point in the conversation do you present here's how much I'm asking for? How do you approach the topic with it sounding like you're just begging for money? That's a lot. And I don't have a lot of experience with that, but I can tell you this: people that have money are going to give you money only if they can see the return. So your job as a person that's asking for the investment is to show them the path to a return in a short amount of time. If you can do that, they're going to, more than likely, if it makes sense for their portfolio, they're going to be able to do that for you. All right, let's do a couple of more. Steve Ryder helped me buy my house, actually. So thanks, Steve. He says, nothing is unprecedented. Okay. If you watch the Supreme Court hearings, you heard a lot about precedents. But anyhow, he makes a point here. There has never been nothing. Okay. And number two, everything has happened before. I have a question for you, Steve. Has the Tampa Bay Rays ever won the World Series before? The answer is no. So everything has happened before. Now, if you're looking at a grand scheme of things, but certainly you know that there are some things that have never happened. Like I have never, ever rode a kangaroo. Now, somebody has, but I haven't. All right. Let's see. Here's a good one. Levon S.C. Schmucker. Living in this wonderful world we do, what is the importance of life insurance, and is it a security for your children? So, what is the importance of life insurance? I am not an expert in this, so don't take this as I'm giving legal or financial or health advice. But here's something to think about. Why don't you, instead of just putting your money into life insurance, why don't you put that money that you put into life insurance into your own savings, and then invest that into a house, and then take that and just, I don't know, it's just a thought. Some people do that. It can be a security for children, but it takes a long time for it to build up. So if my financial advisor is listening to me, he's probably saying, "No, Dave, don't say that," because I'm not that guy. So I'm going to kind of stay out of that. Douglas Holland says, are accountability and responsibility important, and why? So the NY implies that, yes, it is important, very much. Accountability, you cannot love without accountability. You cannot love without accountability. And here's the thing, you cannot have accountability without love. Okay. So the people that say it's all love, it's all about love, and who cares who you love, it's all about love. No, that's just stupid. It's not just all about love. If it's all about love, it would be okay for a brother and sister to love each other, if you know what I mean. And I know that's probably not where you thought this would go, but here's the deal. You cannot love without accountability. Love always has boundaries. Love always has boundaries. And when we say that there are no boundaries in love, that's not love. It can't be. So you have to have accountability, and with accountability comes responsibility. If you're accountable to something, you are responsible to that. So absolutely. Here's the thing. It's about love and accountability. James Hickman says, how to become and continue to be a person of interest. Okay, now what does he mean by a person of interest? He says this, for example, President Trump is continually a person of interest. In other words, he continually dominates the camera. He's always like, he's there. Here's how you do it. You become slightly controversial. Okay, so here's the thing. If I am like everybody else, I don't stand out. You have to stand out, and the way you stand out is being slightly controversial. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to be abrasive. You don't want to be, wrong. You want to be controversial. I often put something out there, like I throw the bomb out there to get the discussion going. And so that is how you become a person of interest, is by putting interesting things out there. One of the things as a business coach, I tell my clients all the time, if you agree with me all the time, or how do I say this? I say it like, if what I say makes sense to you all the time, then I need to challenge you. I need to, if I make sense to you all the time, then I'm not a good coach. You need to listen to the people that don't make sense to you. Because if it makes sense to you, you've already thought about it. You already have that established. So you have to be a little bit controversial. You have to kind of um, be different, stand out. The last one, and I didn't get through all of them. I apologize, but we're already over time. The last one is Jody Carroll says, is the Antichrist an actual person or several people or simply a spirit? Woo! What a one to end on. If I knew what or who it was, I'd go get it. Okay. Here's what I think it is. I don't think it's a person. I think it could be a ideology or a movement or the whole thing is like against God. So is it here? Yeah, I believe it's been here for a long time. I believe the Antichrist, there's an Antichrist ideology. I mean, we kick God out of schools. It's a movement. I don't think it's one person. I think it could be a organization, it could be a group of people, but I think it's more of a mindset. It's a darkness that, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, this has been fun. And I think I got pretty much all of them. No, I didn't, not near all of them, but we are out of time. Thank you so much for coming on and putting these questions out there. I really appreciate it. And we'll do this more often. And don't forget, mark your calendars for March 4 through 6, 2021 for EdgeCon Overcomers Virtual Conference. We're going to have more coming out on that. And you want to buy your tickets early. You want to buy them early because they go up. They're going to start off for one whole month. When we start until one whole month, it's going to be $97 for 3 days to hear some world-class speakers. And then from there, it's going to step all the way up. Like we're going to stair step it. But the final most expensive price is going to be $175. So you want to buy early. You really do. And so as soon as it comes on, we're going to be talking about it and let you know. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Seth, there's a lot of people here I don't know. Susan, Session Color Most 13. It's hard for me to see all of that. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And please share this video, share the video, and tell your friends about every Thursday. If I'm in town, I do this. Most times I have content that I prepared, but this was your content. It was kind of fun. Thank you. I appreciate it. See you later.